listened intently to the sermon every week and had small quibbles, and they discussed their quibbles over lunch right after church. And so I listened to them hear the word of God from the man of God, and not just kind of let it wash over them like everything he said was true, but they tested the spirits, and sometimes they definitely fell into probably like gossiping or judging. I'm sure, like, of course, they made mistakes and went too far, and there are they have personality foibles that can get carried away. But like all that to say, that was where the kind of perhaps skepticism, healthy or not, was inculcated for me. But obviously, you can see how that would be wrapped up in issues of authority, which I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, does that get back to the kind of, is that why the unconditional trust is connected to the unconditional respect in some weird way? That kind of authority structure. I did real when I was a young man, I kind of thought that like all truth was based on authority, because you had to, in order for trust to be, or forever, in order for you to hear something and trust it, you had to trust the person that was giving it to you. And the best way to trust somebody is for them to be an authority over you, because they're kind of, you're entrusted to them. On a little play on words, you're entrusted to them, so you trust them. But yeah, now I give a little bit more agency to the individual, and a little bit more variety to the human population about how they, behave in those types of relationships. But I think the truth still, like, I think that there's still a nugget in there that might be helpful for your problem, Af, which is to say, I don't think you teach a healthy skepticism with something that's like not on the same level of importance or truth or reality. Like you teach that healthy skepticism with like the most important things in life, which are, for my family in that context was, the word of God given by the man of God on Sunday. So, yeah.
I left brain the shit out of it.
If you only love those who act like you and do the things that you want, even the pagans do that. It's Christian love when you love your enemies. Up to and including your enemies. That is Christian love.
Now that's where I see the internet losing its mind, and it's like,
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do.
Once upon a time, the kind, benevolent ruler decided that he had had enough of the evil being around. And he's like nothing can exist in my kingdom that is not love. And so slowly all of the evil got like coagulated into a big giant blob as it was making its way out of the kingdom by the power of the creed. But then some little jackass kid saw the big blob of evil and was like, I'll love you. And so all of that evil was going to go into the child. And everybody thought that would be a terrible idea, to have it all concentrated into one kid. So they decided that they'd all love it a little.
Howdy, embody. Afriel here. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Before I get into the main event for the stream, I wanted to take a little bit of time to just talk about our Northwestuary Snow Moon Campout 2026. It was a really good time, and I got a bunch of photos from folks, so we're just going to go through those real quick, and I'll talk about us touching grass together, because it was a lot of fun. So, Skank got there a little bit earlier than most of us, and when he got there, there was a huge herd of elk just hanging around inside of the campground. So just them moseying and having some grass.
Was
And
because
that's
they
not the right
listened
thing.
intently
Whoops.
to.
You have to actually click onto the window that you want to page down on before you hit page down. There was a really cool stream, Hattie Spatch, really cool stream running like right by the campsite, and then under a bridge, and then under the bridge they had this mural, a bunch of like salmon embedded onto a wall, and then a little plaque talking about how the Department of Transportation was doing a whole bunch of stuff to try and improve salmon runs, so that way we would still have salmon around. That they were not trying to like build up around it too much, because if you take all the gravel out of the bed, for instance, then you don't get any salmon. So being respectful to the wildlife. And this is what the inside of the cabins looks like. So it's supposed to be 5-person to a cabin. They have a twin over queen bunk bed, and then a futon that can pull out into another queen-sized bed. And then this was the fire on Friday night, and then us walking out towards the beach. And these pictures are in no particular order, because some folks, and you'll be able to see from this, some folks' cameras date and time them in a pretty standard format, and then other ones do it differently, and I did not have the time nor the willpower to actually like order them all chronologically, so we're just gonna take them as we get them. This was like, walking across the bridge there, and then out towards the water there was this really cool salt marsh estuary place, so took a walk out there. There was like an observation deck tower towards the beginning of the trail, so you could climb up and look out over the water. And then this is one of the shots from further inland, looking back up towards the mountains, because I didn't get it set up and it's going to take me too long to do it. If you look on a map, temp was not bad. It was probably like 50-ish, I think. Howdy, Olson. It was a little breezy at times, but not bad at all. I lost my train of thought. So if you look on a map, this is on the west side of the Hood Canal. It's a town called Dozewallops, and there's the state campground there, and so we were taking a walk out towards the water from that, if you want to try and follow along on a map and see where we were at. And there's me in my flip-flops trudging through the water, a friend of mine in the background. Everybody else was wearing regular person shoes, so they had to try and dodge up and around and not get too much wet. A little closer shot of the observation tower, and then back out towards the water. And that peninsula, by the way, is super remote. Like, the only thing that I'm aware of that's on it is like a observation post for Navy training exercises down towards the end of it. I think, can you guys see my mouse? Yeah. I think it's like right about there. So other than that, there's really nothing down that peninsula. Just woods and some people's homes. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is more up towards the beginning of the trailhead. There's also some campsites on the other side of the road from where we were, more towards the marsh, but that one was closed for the winter. And looking back up towards the mountains, the hills. And then this was from when we took a quick car ride up to, I don't remember the name of the waterfall, but there's a waterfall not too far away, and they have like a power generation station there, which I think we took some photos of. But this is the creek that's running out from around that waterfall, and that's the waterfall. And there's a couple of videos later in the slideshows to give a little bit better context of like how big this thing was, but it was absolutely fantastic. And there's Skank taking a selfie. And there's him taking photos of other people as he's being taken pictures of. And then you can see that there were 2 other people taking photos of him as he was taking photos of us. I think it's Slack and Jason. Just some more. And this was, I think, on the drive back. Skank snapping a photo of Mount Rainier off in the distance. More marsh photos, and this is from the top of the deck. So it's I think me and Skank leaning up on the rail, and Noah snapping a sneaky, cheeky selfie there. And that's so we walked like way out towards the beach, and this is a shot looking back at the observation deck. And then you can kind of see on the left side there, I think this was, okay, so there's like a bridge right near the bottom. So you can see the blue of a piece of a construction equipment, and then there's a gate there. They don't mind if people walk up that way, but there's like a power generation station behind the trees right here, and they don't want people messing with that. So they try and like, no vehicles, and like lots of warning signs saying, do not touch, do not. And then, yep, there's another one at the waterfall. More stream pictures. Another flats picture. Us walking out towards the edge. And that's my friend's nephew. Back towards the mountains. And then this, like, you can kind of see it in this shot, this house right here, which, gosh, imagine having that view whenever you're getting up in the morning. Like, golly. And then this is us walking over the bridge. I feel like this could be an album cover or something. Stream photo, stream photo, stream photo, waterfall, waterfall. There we go. So this is one of the videos that got shot. And kind of give you an idea of like the scale of this, and then the waterfall kind of washed down into a valley, and then the mist from that waterfall came back up the other side, and so the whole place was super moist and tons of moss. Another video, a little bit closer to it. I think this one, yeah, you can kind of see the mist rising back up the other side a little better in this one. And this, apparently, I look like a scoutmaster in this one. So, there's Jason with his two boys. More stream pictures. And this is like a little bit downhill from the waterfall. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then us hanging around by the fire. Friend's nephew, Foxman, Slack, and me. I'm not the only one with interesting choices in footwear. And there's a picture of the snow moon of the titular snow moon of the snow moon campout. Some grilled chicken that my friend brought and cooked for us. Slack with his very energetic dog. I forget her name, but she wasn't like mean, but she was very energetic and did not really understand that people didn't want to just be jumped on. So, I mean, she was a good dog, friendly dog. Probably needs a little bit more training, if I'm being honest, though. Another waterfall shot. Shot back towards the campsite. You can see Jason's camper on the left, and then the two cabins towards the, or one cabin towards the right, and I think the other cabin is like behind that cabin, so you can't see it in the shot. And that's it. So, we touched grass. There is photographic evidence of us touching grass. I think, yeah, on to the show. No, this one first. Good evening, Embody. Afriel here. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. I haven't said that in far too long. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about Incubus and Succubus patterns. And I did a script for this one because I wanted to at least try and get some of my thoughts out. And we'll see if I can actually do a script while playing a shooter, because that has been perpetually a problem for me. Alright. So part of this is that I want to talk about Gödel. I want to talk about the Gödel point, or what I understand to be like the Gödel point. But I feel like in order to do that, I have to kind of explain what my understanding of evil's win condition is, so to speak. This is what I'm saying. I can't focus. I can't do two things at once. Walking and chewing bubblegum, it's too much. Oh, I hear them. Okay. Yeah, frick. I have 34 health. Starting great. Can I get a shot on him? Did he run away? Oh, well. Head crabs. There we go. So, talking about, like, what do I mean when I say good guy and bad guy win conditions? So, what I'm kind of drawing on that, is this the real Gödel point or Daniel's fake Gödel point definition? His idea seems to be helpful for many, but it's not a Gödel point. So, I think that he's pointing to something that, like, he might be giving an imperfect explanation of it, but I think he's pointing in generally the right direction, at least enough for me to want to, like, talk about it within the same context. And I do need to finish watching the videos where he talks about it, because I might be layering on my own interpretation to what I think he's saying based off of what I think it means. But yeah, I'll get into that a bit more, and I might even talk about it a little bit more on this stream. But I really just want to illustrate how I understand the bad guy win condition, quote unquote, which is, there's a lot, like, it's a very simplified way of expressing it, that definitely is going to need to be impacted more at some point. But just to kind of give a more general overview of, like, what is it that I'm talking about? What is it that I'm referring to when I say that? That's more what I'm looking to do with this. I don't want to waste a crossbow shot. What's the best way to take care of you? Just a magnum shot, probably. 2 magnum shots, I guess. Really? And it doesn't... I hate head crabs. Die. Can I jump for this? Sort of. So, one of the things that I got a lot out of was a work that I found online called The Raw Material. I know I'm doing terribly tactically, but I am trying to focus on speaking while playing, and I'm just gonna do what I can. So in the raw material, one of the things that gets mentioned is this idea of service to others and service to self, and how those are sort of like two quote-unquote equally valid ways of living. And when I say equally valid, I mean much more in like the Gödel sense of equally valid, where it's like two options that you are picking from. But I don't think that there's more going on there than just that, and that's a whole nother fucking stream. Stop that. Good guy 51 has to give 51 for every 49 that they have to take in order to be able to sustain themselves and continue to give to others. The way that bad guys win is by taking 9 for every 1 they are obligated to provide. I almost fell to my death. Can I get over this? There we go. And I think most corner folks, and Christians more generally too, have a decent understanding of what I mean with the good Kai Win Con, of like loving your neighbor, giving to them. Oh, okay. Let me just get neurotoxin real quick. There we go. How do I get through this? There we go. But I want to try and explain what I mean with the bad guy Win Con a little bit more concretely, and giving some like actual examples of it. Howdy, Slasher. Oh god, I probably should have just ducked away first. Okay. Let them take care of that for us. I hate head crabs. So, to go, like, in order to be able to try and explain that, I figured talking about Incubus and Succubus patterns would be helpful for illustrating my point, because it's something that a bunch of people have some degree of familiarity with, and then even if they don't have familiarity with the idea of an Incubus, where did you come from? An Incubus and a Succubus directly, they will, I can explain that decently well, and then the examples that I'm going to provide, I think, will give a better idea of what it is that I'm trying to get at. Can I get back here? I just have to do that, I guess. Here we go. Deadly neurotoxin detected. I do not want a ride, so we're going to take care of you first. So in the most literal sense of like what an incubus and a succubus are, an incubus is a male spirit that impregnates women in their sleep, and a succubus is a female spirit that steals men's semen from while they're sleeping. And oh gosh, I don't want to go in there. What I want to try and point to is that it's not just like, part of it is definitely, and I missed the jump. Well, now I get to fight my way back out. Hooray. Thankfully, these guys are not terribly bad. Cheeky. Yeah, so the like Incubus and Succubus are not just what you would call spirits of those types. It's also patterns that manifest themselves in human and animal behavior. So just as an example, a botfly is an incubus, and almost in a one-for-one parody sense with the concept by itself, where like it's not impregnating another animal, but it's injecting its eggs into the skin of an animal in such a way that when the larva hatch out of the eggs, they're going to eat the flesh of the animal in order to grow and gestate into their full adult forms. Hate head crabs. So the botfly is bearing a minimal cost for implantation, and almost all of the burden is being borne by an infected animal. And so it's meeting that requirement. It is taking 9 for every 1 that it's obligated to give. Thank God. It's a sneaky spot. Keep the shotgun on for now. And the way that like, if to take that pattern and then put it to humans, you're gonna have a situation where a man goes and impregnates 9 women, and then somehow avoids paying child support for any of them. And so, hello, Kelly. He still has to support himself, so that's kind of the one. But then he's effectively having 0 burden for any of his offspring, and so he's able to pass on 9x his genetics for basically no investment. And I will say that human society has been pretty good about punishing incubus behavior. Not perfect, and child support is a bit of a broken system in other ways, but it's better than nothing, and it at least seems to do a pretty good job of keeping people from really... Some will still do it, but it seems to be keeping the worst at bay a little bit, at least. Succubi, however, are fucking everywhere. And the most direct example that I would give for that is like OnlyFans models or Instathoughts. And the whole thing is like, okay, you're getting the promise of titillation, sometimes like a girlfriend experience for a price. And it's not even necessarily the person themselves who is engaging with you. A lot of times there will be people that they hire to chat with their subscribers. Now, I need to have my right weapon out before I climb ladders. Golly. So you'll have like a bunch of dudes chatting with other dudes, pretending that one of them pretending that they are this female personality, and then the other guy just doesn't know, and it's like, this is sad and kind of pathetic, but apparently this is what people want. They can delude themselves into believing that they want. I don't know. And then like, to a lesser degree, you have the same thing with a lot of female streamers and VTubers, where they're not necessarily like explicitly going for the sexual angle, but the reality is that they are heavily leaning into some form of sexualization, whether that's if they're a live streamer, their outfits, or if they are a VTuber, a particularly scantily clad model, for instance. And there was one Christian VTuber who actually talked about that a little bit explicitly. I think her name was Silent Bell. About how she knew that that was something that everyone else was doing, and she was trying to deliberately choose to have a more modest model to not fall into that same pattern of abusing the instincts of her male audience in order to gain greater... Why would you do that? I was having a grand old time. Where did that even... Oh, there. Okay. Well. Let's get an actual weapon out for this. If I'm going to be fighting men with guns. Okay. So, long story short, you have female streamers and VTubers who are deliberately sexualizing their models in order to increase engagement from their male viewers. And they know what they're doing, even if they say they don't. And it's kind of frustrating and annoying to watching that from the outside and just being like, that's... You're being completely disingenuous, but you're not... I don't know. Nobody seems to want to or be able to call that out effectively. Oh, that's where it's coming from. You cheeky... There. Stop that. Peek. Come on. Always check the ceiling. What do you think this is, D&D? Yeah, let me see if I can line up my crosshair just right. There we go. Much better. Slack it as a DM taught you that? Okay, well, I'm going to finish my talking point, and then I'll hop onto this thing. And it's not, by the way, this isn't just a female phenomenon. Like, being a succubus is not just a female thing. Things like host clubs in Japan work off of the same pattern, where you have attractive male talent who... I should continue. Attractive male talent who are engaging with female clients and making them feel loved and special and giving good feelings, and it's very toxic, it's very abusive, but people, that's what they want, ostensibly. That's what they're willing to pay for, at least. Can't break contact with the screen. Okay, we should be good. And so what exactly am I talking about when I'm talking about a succubus pattern? What I'm talking about is when you have a big, flashy love bomb, right? Somebody engages in a big, flashy love bomb that doesn't necessarily cost them terribly much, and they use that love bomb in order to extract as much out of somebody else as they possibly can. Another 30 shots of this, so I'll just... Oh, shit. Get away from the exploding barrels. And the thing that... Part of the magic of... Oh, there. And they're shooting this stupid... explodey energy projectiles too. Oh, hello. There we go. And it's not just love bombs per se, right? It's not just when people are like using romantic interest. Like, that's not the only way that the succubus pattern can manifest itself. It's also just anything where you have a flashy input that is then being used to extract way more value out of somebody else. So, like, you have gambling, where you have, like, slot machines, where you have this cool flashy lights, and it's all exciting, and it's really just being used to get the wallet out, get the money out of your wallet. And another example would be, like, having algorithms tuned to feed you a feed of nothing but slop. And so it's like taking your valuable time and attention for any number of purposes, and you're not accurately accounting for what the value of your attention is. And so you are willing and able to give all that over for basically no effort on the part of the person who's taking it from you. And again, bringing it back to, like, That's what the win condition is. That's what I mean when I'm saying they have a win condition, is they have to take in at least 9 times what they put out. And if they do that, then they win. And so that's like the bad guy. The Incubus and the Succubus win cons. So I'll lean on that a little bit more talking about the Gödel point, but I do want to actually prep that one a little bit more too. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up the chat if anybody wants to join me on the gaming couch. And I'll go, and haven't died yet this game, which is surprising, to say the least, especially being out of practice, have not played it for a couple of weeks. Thanks y'all for showing up, the ones who have, because I know I've been a little otherwise occupied for the last little bit. Yeah. And Kelly's a good dog, and she needs pets, because otherwise she's going to bork at me. I don't know why you're staring at those rectangles, Daddy. Dog is much more interesting. Much, much better. Am I good now? Have I met my pet quota? Not yet. A little longer. Yeah. Curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are, if you have any, of like, does that make sense? Is that something that you have potentially seen other examples of? The quota is infinite. So to a degree, yes. Like if you have... Oh gosh darn it. Oh, come on. I should probably pull up Discord on the other side so I can... I'm probably going to die from doing that, aren't I? Oh, okay, we still have 6 health. Now I'm going to get shot from below. There we go. Something he's thought of, but not in that way. Wilson. Where am I supposed to go? I don't think I'm supposed to go back down. That's where I came from. Right. Losing my mind. Where is my mind? Oh, we got a Ron. Howdy, Ron.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and I can stream the video on the Discord.
Sweet. I'd like to see. I don't know if you're dead yet.
No, I have not died, surprisingly. I am on like 3 health right now.
Stream is Oh, there we go. All right. See, now this is a game. This is blood, guts. I think I'm an Orthodox gamer.
Mm. What do you mean by an Orthodox gamer?
Well, I mean, listen, that whole Jacques Cousteau thing, very impressive, like visually, no death. Like if you had sharks, okay, I could have worked with that.
Well, there was some dangers, but I was actively going out of my way to avoid them because I was playing hardcore to deliberately not die or like have a consequence for death.
No, there should be something trying to actively kill you.
Okay, and I should be like actively running towards the thing so that way there's as much entertainment value of me almost dying as possible.
Yeah. And that's what makes good theological discussion.
Specifically theological discussion from me, like there's definitely a relationship there. We're gonna find one.
Exactly. Yeah, got it. So the video of the estuary looked freaking outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked beautiful. I was a little bit bothered that it was 50 degrees when I was subarctic.
It stays pretty warm here, surprisingly, just because of the water that's right by us. So.
Well, I was okay. No, because I was no kidding. We were 7 below.
Oh my
You
gosh. Yeah,
know.
that's no fun.
Oh yeah. No, I mean we're that's not just me in Indiana. It's part of Ohio, but we were
Mhm.
consistently colder than Anchorage, Alaska. Just
Yep.
that's so.
Well, Anchorage isn't usually too bad either because they're right on the water, so they don't get as cold. Like they'll still get down to 0, -10, maybe down to -20, but like they don't. They're not like Fairbanks. Like they're not real Alaskans. You know what I'm saying?
They're not real Alaskans, right? They're Ohio Alaskans or
Hmm.
Indiana Alaskans.
The Canadian Alaskans. You know,
Oh, it's
like
oh, wow.
fake Alaskans.
All right. Oh, this is going. I'm getting squirreled on that. That's pretty good. Good insults.
Hmm.
Not bad. Not bad. But it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing pictures, and that looked. So, what'd you guys talk about?
Uh, I mean, one of the
And
things, and like this wasn't like a super like estuary thing, but my friend does a fair amount of like real estate stuff, and so one of the things that I really like doing is just getting down to brass tacks on real like niche topics and subjects, and so just like talking with him and with where are you shooting me from? There you are. There we go. Talking about that with him in front of Foxman and in front of Jason, who I forget where he's coming from. I don't remember if he's doing the Tacoma estuary or what exactly the deal is there, but he's been coming to a bunch of his campouts and bringing his kids, and it's been good to have like man. Am I just a scoutmaster at heart? Is that what I need to
oh
just
yeah,
embrace?
no, you're estuary scoutmaster.
An estuary scoutmaster. Okay.
No, that's like that. That way, the philosophy majors don't go wandering in the woods and get eaten by a bear.
Death number one, by the way.
What's that?
Death
Oh,
number
did
one, by the way. In case you missed it.
congratulations. Yeah, I did. I'm sure there'll be more. I have confidence.
Confidence or lack of confidence?
Oh, exactly.
Yes. The answer is
Yes,
yes.
that's exactly it. No, this kind of game, I would expect you to die. It wouldn't be like insulting. You like, well, how do I put this? Everyone dies in these games. Like you're gonna die. It's just how often. Like if I was playing it, it'd be like me going through like just a grinder. It would just there would be blood all over. But it doesn't seem like a bad game.
No, it's a good game, and there's a lot of like ideas that come from the dangers of experimentation, and then also kind of a vision for what the sort of dystopian future might look like if the powerful of Earth decided to side with aliens to enslave the human race.
Oh God! How apropos! By coincidentally, yeah. Anyhow, we'll just wait another 5-10 years. You'll be able to have some. You're like the game was right. Oh well.
Also, Olson has a question for you. Wanted to ask you, how do you understand the Dark Night of the Soul
Oh,
in kind of
I
like a
think it's a
wooish
bunch
context?
I think it's a bunch of BS set up by a dude who just needed some Prozac or just needed to hit Vegas, get a cocaine and some strippers, deal with
Oh
this
my
crap.
gosh!
Did you like that? I didn't know
Depression
how
isn't
political-
real; it's all in your head.
Yeah, right. Wow, that was even darker than mine. Yeah, well played.
I
got
was
some good
really
ones.
excited there for a second because I thought the question was, how do you feel about the Dark Knight? And, but then the question kept going.
Dark Night of the Soul.
Oh my gosh! First off, I need to repent, Lord. And who asked that question? Olson.
I'm gonna have to go all the way back. Yeah, Olson was
How
the one
do
who
you
asked
feel
it.
about- Yeah. So honestly, all right, because I've experienced it. I think everybody does. I think um the darkness. Okay, so what it is when you lack love. Um, that's a dark night. When when your dog doesn't get pats on the head, and I'm not just like in a moment, but like you're gone.
Mhm.
You've gone to the grocery store, but the dog thinks, "Oh my God," there's a moment where they don't understand, and you think, "Wow, like the love of my life is gone, and what did I do to mess this up?"
Mhm.
Or are you angry at me? And you're like, "No, I'm just going to the store to get you food so you don't die." But the dog doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so now there's a lot of different answers to this one, so I'll make it quick. You can either be in sin and you're going to die and something bad's happening and God removes his presence from you so that it's actually conviction. Because it's the goodness of God that draws us back to him. So when you don't get the pats on the head, you're like, what do I have to do to get the pats on the head? Oh, maybe I should stop being, selling crack to the kids in the elementary school.
Is that a common problem
And
for you, Ron?
not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's
Ever
Instructions
since
have
the court
for
order prevented you from going
crack to
too
the
close to a
dog.
school, it's been not as much of a temptation.
it was a Vervaeke moment. I was like, oh, all right, I shouldn't do that.
How do you know it?
Noah.
He's not in the stream. He's just in the chat.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Let me see. There's that. So there's that. If there's sin, it's a dark night. But then on Saint Francis, he goes on to say, it's just you don't want to get your heart hooked on sensual emotions, even if they're godly.
Mhm.
Which I'm kind of growling at that one a touch. So what happens is that if it happens, it's not permanent. It's like when aviators fly at night, they fly by instruments
Mhm.
and not by their sight or feelings.
Mhm.
So you don't crash. And so then when you have a dark night, which is, and I'll use that as simply as not having the presence of God, you go by faith alone, not by feelings. And then you faith it till you make it. And then
I like that.
usually, yeah. And then usually when you get past that desert or whatever, how you want to put it, you do develop, um, a you become an adult. You're like, okay, I'm not going to go by every whim of my heart. If that I feel like let's say I did sell crack to the kids in elementary school, I've learned not to do that. Or let's say you're just being good and God's teaching you not to go by your feelings all the time.
Mm.
You learn to endure it, overcome it, and then it's almost like not eating for a long time. You realize you're not going to die, but then when you do eat, and where you do have the presence of God again, you really do appreciate it. Maybe that much more.
Mhm.
Just my opinion, and this is real dangerous here. I think people they romanticize the dark night of the soul, and I think they get themselves in trouble with it because they almost all right, and until you have an encounter with God and his love and it splits, I'm of the this is just my opinion. I think there's ways to work through it and understand it differently.
Mhm.
Um, but what I have said so far, I'm pretty comfortable with. If someone's going through something,
Mhm.
it's not because you're bad, and it's not because God's mad at you. It's just maybe a developmental moment, and it's not always bad, which I really hate saying, but
Mhm.
that's I think that's the end of a pretty good synopsis of what I think about that.
Also, 3 or 4 Grizz.
Uh-oh.
I haven't been keeping strict count, but it's not my job to keep strict count of my own deaths. It's your guys' job if you're gonna make fun of me for it. Grr.
I'm
My
pretty sure
job
that
is
is
to-
Grizz's job, and he wasn't doing it. So
Mm.
clearly you haven't died yet, except for that one
Sure.
time, maybe.
Yeah, just the once. Yeah. I don't know why
That's
anyone
pretty
would think otherwise.
So what's that fancy German word you were using?
Oh, Gödel?
The the Gödel, the girdle.
Yeah, Gödel. It. Yeah, I'm a little fuzzy on the exact pronunciation. It's actually a guy's name, Kurt Gödel. He was a German mathematician back in the day, like 1920s and 30s, I think, was when he was doing most of his work. And his main claim to fame was that around the same time, and Noah and I have actually talked about this on stream before. Around the same time, there was a fellow by the name of Bertrand Russell who was trying to do some work in mathematics where he had like a really solidly developed, like proving everything about mathematics from first principles, basically. It's a little bit more complicated than that. There's symbolic logic and other things involved, but the gist of his he was trying to have like the most rigorous formal depiction of like what mathematics is and how it functions. It's hard to tell where you're getting shot from. Oh, they're down there. That's why. Okay. There we go. Please be health. Thank you. And so, Gödel's main claim to fame was that he developed a proof that essentially showed that any consistent system is inherently incomplete, and any complete system is inherently inconsistent. And it's very technical the way that he did it, but basically he was able to find a way of constructing in mathematical formal language a way of saying this statement is false. And more specifically, it's like no, what was it, like no proof exists for this mathematical statement, something like that. Like, but and so for a while, people were hoping and assuming that that was just sort of a trick, and that there wouldn't be any actual deeper mathematical implications for him figuring that out. And it turns out that there absolutely are. And kind of the way that I'm gonna end just talking about it in this stream. Here we go. The way that kind of came about was there are, I think, 5 fundamental theorems of Euclidean geometry, and for a long time, it was thought that the 5th one might be able to be proven from the other 4. The 5th one being, I think, parallel lines never intersect, and any non-parallel lines intersect exactly once, I think was the axiom. And what mathematicians eventually realized was that isn't provable from anything else. It's decidable. And what I mean by decidable is you can have other systems where you have lines that are not parallel and never intersect in 3D space. But even on a 2D space with a different geometry than Euclidean geometry, if you have hyperbolic geometry, then there are an infinite number of lines that never intersect. And in like spherical geometry, every line will always intersect every other line, no matter how you try and arrange them. And so you're not so much... I have no idea where I'm going right now. You're not so much proving that you have one system where you have I cannot play this game and talk at the same time.
Would you like a suggestion?
Please.
I think to your right you can drop down.
I can, but then I just go back to where I was before.
No, not that way.
Not that right?
Go forward.
Yep.
See the little lip there where it ends? Fall down into that balcony.
Onto that balcony?
Look down.
Look down. Oh, yes, thank
balcony?
you. Yep, but don't fall on the mine. Because there is a mine down there.
I don't know if this is the correct answer, but
Nope,
it's the only answer I can see.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I have to do another one. The whole thing with something being a Gödel point is that you have multiple options that are all quote unquote equally valid, where you're just changing the world that you are existing in depending on what you are choosing. So like if you want to exist within a Euclidean geometry, there is exactly one parallel line, or one line that is parallel to another line that intersects a point. If you want there to be spherical geometry, then there are no lines that are parallel to a line that intersect a point. And if you have hyperbolic geometry, then there's an infinite number of lines. So you're choosing what world you want to exist in based on what choice you are making with the axiom that you are looking at.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And so the way that this factors into what I want to talk about with quote-unquote the Gödel point, because it turns out that like any axiom or axiomatic system, you can choose other ways of understanding that axiom, and by choosing a different way of understanding that axiom, you exist then in a different world.
Okay.
The Gödel point is when you have a situation where the choice that you are making is between existence and non-existence.
Well, okay, because the moment it clicked for me, I started to think about Jesus and miracles, and then also if you're, let's say you are, well, actually, I'll kind of broaden the scope on this one. If you are able to change your, I guess, point of reference in your mind, the way you change your perspective, you're jumping, miracles happen. We're talking about, I guess the word miracles would come to mind because you're going, you're going into one of those three systems that most conveniently suits your needs. If you're good, you can do miracles for good, and if you're just self-centered, you can do miracles for yourself.
Well, what's really the difference between a miracle and a spell?
Okay, all right, brace yourself.
Okay.
There is none.
Okay.
But the intention is everything.
Yep.
So I think it's more like computers. Before I tried to dissect it, I think they're the same. I got to be careful because what's his name? Mathieu Peugeot just came out with a video. So far, I like this guy. I liked him quite a bit. And he was talking just about this point. He goes, miracles in Pharaoh's court. You have Moses and the magicians. You got snakes.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he pointed out Moses did miracles for not his own benefit. And also, he was able to protect other people, the other Jewish people from the impact of what was going on. Whereas with Pharaoh, Netu was saying that when you're doing magic, it actually comes back and blows back on you.
Yep.
But I'm getting kind of lost in the weeds because when you change your point, your goal point, would it just? I'll just go with a point of reference.
Mhm.
Spiritually, I don't know how to nail it down, but it's almost within your mind. If you change your point of reference, you can change you're living in a different paradigm.
Why would she go into the water? Sorry.
Oh, you just dude. Blood and guts.
Blood,
She's
guts, and
fine.
head crabs. Sorry, you were saying about Matthew and
Yeah. Yeah, he was talking about magic and miracles.
Yep.
They look the same but they have different intentions behind them, and they're going to affect you differently as well. But at the outset, they look the same. And then if you not real rabbit trail, but it just develops saying, yeah, it's going to be looking better. Get to know what this stuff that it's going to be happening, whether it's AI technology or Elon Musk developing a neural net where you can communicate somewhat telepathically. It will look. It'll look like it'll start. It calls it. Well, anyhow, he says it'll look like magic, and quantum mechanics is entering into the realm of subtle bodies. I'm not quite sure about that, because I don't know what subtle. Unless you're talking about angels and spirits, I think that's what a subtle body is.
Well, I definitely think that there's a strong possibility that, and I do want to get to Grizz's comment in a second here, but I think there's a strong possibility that AI is very much sigils etched in silicon, and so you're going to end up having things being summoned into the AIs deliberately.
Absolutely, dude. Listen, dude. Can I cuss? You
Go
know,
for
like not my church cuss. Like, what the hell do you think is good? Dudes, are you guys idiots? I feel like if I'm even saying that, like, come on, guys. Like, when you got, like, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore. I want to see Afro die. I'm like, you guys are idiots. If you're going to go summon me, like, you're going to be making, what are those mixed animals? It's a lion's paws and birds' wings.
Monkey's paw. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, just ingredients for things.
Well, no, it's when you mix. All right, I'm ranting and I'm not doing it well. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think it's sad when the scientists are going, oh, this is getting kind of weird. I'm like, yes, because you guys theologically dropped some acid and now you're having to deal with it. And there's no getting off this ride. It's a one-way ticket. And now I'm wanting, I wish I could do a good Jersey accent right now. Like, because, yeah, like, that's kind of where I'm feeling like when, like you do something stupid in Jersey and they're like, way to go there, Einstein, way to go. Pandora, you might as well just call it Pandora's Box. Look, it's Pandora's Box made by Apple,
Well, I mean, they're already naming
But
things.
at least
in
there
funny
was
ways.
hope at the bottom of that box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll give you that. That's true. You're absolutely right. So anyhow, I'm done ranting. I don't know if I've done a good job of it. I'll try better.
I'll try.
Well, the only way to get better at ranting is to try and try again.
Practice.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that encouragement. I really think that we're entering into whether it's really like good old fashioned wizardry magic or technological magic.
There's the same
I
thing.
think
It's
okay.
Well, in my mind, at least, it's basic. Like, magic is sort of this. Like, we're going to put a label on things that we don't understand the mechanics of yet, and it becomes a science when we understand the underlying mechanics of the thing well enough to have a high level of predictability. Because like that's the whole thing with the scientific method is reproducibility. And so if I can have something that is reproducible to the point where I can reliably reproduce the effect, then it becomes science. But when it's unreliable, when I don't understand the underlying mechanics of it, that's when it gets labeled as magic. That's, or at least that's the way I split the difference.
In the D&D sense, if you're a wizard, you're doing that because you're memorizing a bunch of things, and having memorized those things, you manage to recreate an effect. So really, it is just science, but more of an eldritch science than a technological one.
Yep. Well, and that's the whole, like, in more occult things, the sort of like differentiation between theurgy and thaumaturgy. It's like the kinds of magic that affect the physical world versus the kinds that affect your mind. And even then, like, actually, I don't know how it would necessarily get labeled. But there's definitely a lot of alchemist texts that are devoted to very much mundane things. Like, there was one video that I saw of a guy who was following an old alchemist's recipe for improving clay, because a lot of materials and a lot of oh, that's not good. Oh, gosh, I don't want to fight that. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of tools that you have to make out of clay, and so having a way of improving a bad source of clay, like clay that's just not as good for making stuff, was a really valuable piece of knowledge, because it was like you're using that to make other things and like eventually trying to create gold with it. But there's a lot of, like I said, like mundane things that you have to know in advance.
So let's speak to my squirrel brain.
Okay.
And because I like where this is going, because I feel like eventually someone's going to do something whiz bang, ooh ah, and it's going to blow everyone's minds.
Project Bluebeam sort of thing. Yep.
What is that? Project what?
Project Bluebeam.
Is that the mind thing?
That's we're gonna have Jesus in a giant image floating in the sky.
Oh. Well, I could see that being Satan's plan B. If
Yeah.
all right. Aside from that, that's that's probably in the works. But so let's read, because I was reading through Grizz's question. I'm trying to get I'm reading it now. Reach your real point when you decide to. I was just reading it. I was like, oh wow.
Yep.
That Skybeam really does not like you.
No, it's quite violent and abusive. I think I go this way. Oh my goodness.
So how does this tie into Incubus and Succubus and whatnot?
So
or is it a little downstream?
The whole idea that I was trying to get across was this idea of like, oh my gosh, let me get inside. Oh, okay, hello. And I'm dead.
I think the problem was opening the door and then closing it on yourself.
Yeah, that definitely didn't help. Yeah, Project Bluebeam is fake the second coming. So, in order for me to explain, because like the Gödel point that I have, like there's a couple of different ways of expressing it. And so, like, one of them is this idea of being and non-being, and I think that that's kind of the fundamental way that it gets expressed. But the way that it kind of manifests for most people first is through this idea, the way that the Law of One puts it is service to others versus service to self. And so the choice that you are making the Gödel point is, do I serve others? Do I try and give 51 for every 49 that I have to take in order to be able to continue to give? Or am I going to serve myself? Am I going to try and take 9 for every 10 that I am obligated to provide?
Right.
And the reason that ties into being and non-being is that if everybody picks serving others, then the whole universe rings up, where everyone is giving more into the system than they took out of it, and as a consequence, everything grows. And if everyone picks service to self, then energy keeps getting taken out of and out of and out of the universe until there's nothing left, and so it collapses back into non-being.
Yeah. Yes, but okay. No, I'm tracking. I was gonna play with words here a little bit. So let's. All right. You know what? Okay. Can I would like to now get back on my rant box.
Go for it.
My Christian rant. Okay. I love the corner and everybody in it. And so I'll start with that because so this is not like a hard criticism or anything. But everyone's trying to figure out the future and what's going on and whatnot. And just for fun, why don't they just, for a while, use the book of Revelation and go, it says, okay, guys, we're going to lose, okay? Let's just start, like, the ship's going to sink. We're on the Titanic. Now, that's the bad news. But the good news is, in the losing, we're going to win. And so, if you, and it's not a fun, it's a truly dark night of the soul moment where you go by faith. You go, all right. And let's say you live to be 102 and you pass away with surrounded by family and love and you have a good exit. That's that's cool, but it's still, it all comes to an end in this form for a while. It's a rental, and then the next is, and if you look at things that way, then if you see people taking 9 for every 1 that they give, you don't take it personally. And I don't know if I'm making my point, or I'd like your opinion on this. Like, if it's, is it a position or an angle to be taken more often? Would it be valuable? Would it be helpful? And I will throw as a last part is, there's a lot more supernatural, or I don't know the proper word to throw in it, when you look at it, because not only will we lose, but on the way out, we get to do some really cool things that to the world seems. And I said this jokingly, God, he grades on a curve. So even if you just do a little, let's say you're the worst schmuck in the world, but you happen to have okay, God, I'm not selling crack to the kids today. God's like, good boy, you know. And then, curious enough, there can be moments of like biblical biblical encounters that are just amazing, that break every rule of physics, including overcoming death. Maybe not a lot, but you get to see it once in a while. And I think that's the getting back to the Gödel point, and I don't know if I'm saying it, but when you have a perspective where I'm coming from, one, I think, all right, all right, so it has to be given to you by God. It has this insight and revelation, or maybe, it has to be encountered. And then from that encounter, you get to see different perspectives that you didn't even know were that you could get off the page, so to speak, if you were a cartoon character. But once you do that, even if you are a cartoon character, you can have that perspective that there's 3D space out there, and you know that even if the page gets thrown away or burnt, you're in some way remembered and can be redrawn, and you actually get to go from 2D to 3D. And it is love that a god love that is the target and the energy by which all this happens.
Mhm.
So that's the long rant and a little bit sloppy, but I guess that was a criticism, and I want like your opinion, and how does that play into anything you're talking about? And if not, that's cool. I'd like to hear that as well.
I mean, the biggest criticism I would throw against that is I don't think that God does grade on a curve. I don't think that the judgment of any person is judged in relation to any other individual person. Also, I am stuck. Slasher, if you have any ideas of how for me to get unstuck, I don't know if there's a squad following hotkey.
I have no idea here.
Okay.
That was just an observation based off of my eyes, not based off of actual knowledge.
Okay. Would you mind looking that up for me? Since you're here.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Hold on.
There should be like a squad command hotkey. I can probably also look it up while I'm sitting here, because there's nothing else I'm going to be doing, you know? But yeah, I think that you are graded on a curve relative to other versions of yourself, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But even then, I think that you still, like, there's still a threshold to get over. Like,
I won't disagree with you.
Yeah. You still have to demonstrate your like, it's one thing to finally gain the understanding of how to love others properly. It's another thing to actually, like, execute on that. And
I'll give you all that. I guess just give me my cartoon caricature of how God operates.
Okay.
You know, I'm obviously being like really sloppy, but just and what I mean by create.
We're all trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure out what the heck it is that we're supposed to be doing, because it's not obvious. And so,
no, actually, you know, but I think it is. I think maybe what's the word? It's
the quick load.
Instinctual.
The default key is C, apparently.
I switched that to crouch. I'm just gonna have to F9 it and hope for the best.
You have messed up.
F9 and pray.
And it's not quick loading. Why is it not quick loading? Quality content right here. Edit key.
Let me fumble.
F9, apply. Okay. Please tell me this isn't where my quick load goes. Oh no.
What's going on?
Did you quick save to this spot?
I guess so.
Are you gonna die?
Soft locked yourself.
I'm soft locked. When's my last save?
What is a soft lock? And did you just what happened?
We'll count this as a death for purposes of counting if you want to.
Oh yes, we will.
So a soft lock. So I didn't die, right? I didn't die.
Yeah.
But because of the way that these guys are positioned, I can't move. And so I can't continue playing the game, so I've functionally lost.
All right, so because it was the way that Slasher was laughing, I'm like, oh, something humiliating has just happened.
Yes, indeed. Golly. Okay, let's try this again.
See, that's not even,
well, you can do this room better
not
now.
even a death with honor.
I can do it perfect now.
I can't. Sad. Too sad.
Oh, man.
Death by being unable to move.
Yep. It's perfect.
That's like it's like being a samurai and you fall on your own sword.
Pretty much. No, I didn't even get it in there.
You tripped on your shoes and you're dead. Like nobody gets honor in your death.
No. It's not even a death. There's no honor in it.
I know. That's what I mean. It's like yeah.
You should quick save.
I mean, wouldn't be the worst idea, but what's the keybind for that? Let's see.
That looks like something on the shiny.
Keyboard. F6.
Are you trying not to quick load yourself back to the spot you were just in?
Yeah, well, assuming that it wouldn't, but, you know. I soft locked myself in a closet with Barney and another guy, so it's not just
Oh my god.
it's not just regular degeneracy. This is advanced degeneracy.
Jeez, oh Pete. What kind of Gödel? Oh, this is bad.
Putting the goy in Gödel.
Yeah, this is. Gödel would be so disappointed right now. He's
no,
like,
my
of all the
Gödel.
universe- What's that thing in the back of your throat? That thing looks like a punching bag. That's
Uvula?
is. No, well, I don't know what it's
Epiglottis?
called. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my gosh. I'm expecting things to come from other places. Nope, still coming from the same door. How do I deactivate the... Oh, I see. I don't know if I can reach it from here, though. Nope. Do I have to, like, hop up on this and then up there? Is that the idea?
That's what I would guess.
I don't know if I have... No, not quite there.
Anything is possible with crouch jumps.
I think maybe I'm supposed to go in here first.
Do
You
a
should
crouch
start-
backwards jump and you'll be fine.
Don't run a... Stupid.
Look, the other lady ran directly into
Swamp
a
creature.
sky laser,
Mm-hmm.
and well, she ran into the swamp creature and survived, and then she ran directly into death. Was it death? No, it was the sniper that killed her.
Yep. It was
You
indeed.
just died. Boom, boom. Yep.
Because she
It's
saw all
red.
of the zombies being shot down by the sniper and went, "Hey, I should do that."
Mm-hmm. I should run right into the middle of that. That sounds like a great idea. Bitch, stay. What are you doing?
What did you just?
I'd use the derogatory... Like, okay, this is directed at Argo, if you're listening. This is more of the profane side of TLC. So, just a heads up.
Profane.
He was...
right now?
He was looking...
I mean, I normally swear like a sailor. I can start.
I try to keep
fouling
it
up.
kind of clean generally, but it's also one of those, like, I don't know. I have too much teenage humor in me to not not do silly things sometimes.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. It's that's to be expected. Otherwise, it's boring. But
Broski.
Just stand directly in front of the turret.
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
best place for
And
you.
now I don't have any more grenades. We're just gonna run in. And we're gonna pay for it with health.
was that a machine?
And
killing you?
death.
I see
God.
you've been relearning some lessons. Just run directly at the turret,
And hope for the best.
and all your hopes and dreams will come true.
I mean, what am I
as long as your
supposed to
hopes and
do?
dreams are to die from gunfire.
What am I supposed to do? Oh, I should probably actually... I can do this. When these guys come up, I can just shoot the mines.
Oh my goodness!
They're wise to you now.
So what's going?
Mm-hmm. So what's going on?
So how are you? Yeah, what's going? How are you? How's the sickness in your life? Like, who's not sick? I hope you're all not
Oh,
sick.
we're all
but-
better now.
Okay.
Mine didn't go off.
I was very disappointed in your sickness. It really
hamped your
inconvenienced
mood.
my life.
Inconvenienced
I
your
was-
ability to
It was a
have a
big
good
downer.
Saturday night.
Yeah, I missed hanging out with you guys, and I'm like, you need to stop being sick so I don't get bored. So stop that.
Yeah,
And
could you please choose not to gain sickness conditions?
Mhm.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Doing a little office space there.
how was it? Was it a bad bug or just a normal little bug?
It wasn't the worst. I mean, it wasn't fun,
What's the
but
bug?
it wasn't
Uh,
too bad. I think if I
Wasn't-
activate
wasn't
this
bad.
and then we just like, nope. Can we all step across at once or no?
They can walk directly in front of the turret if you'd like.
Oh, they're gonna fuck me, aren't they?
See, this is good. This game looks really menacing. This is one of those older games. Yeah, it's back in the day where nothing's happy. It's all grays and
Well, that's
it's
kind of the atmosphere that they're going for. Is like, oh, this is a post-apocalyptic, crazy
Oh,
place. So
no, that's it. All that survives is concrete.
This is before the great browning of the game.
Great browning? What is the great
Also,
browning?
I was very worried that you were going to get trapped in that room when he followed you in.
Oh gosh, I mean, wouldn't
there's
that be just perfect?
There was a certain time in the aughts where for some reason, I guess gritty is the word that people would have used.
Yeah.
I think nowadays they'd call it a poop filter, but
Indeed.
yeah, people who made games, especially first-person shooters, really wanted everything to be brown.
Right. Just because, depressing. Yeah, I gotcha. I don't know. It kind of painted the picture for me what the apocalypse is going to look like. Won't be a lot of happy, shiny people. Everyone's dirty. Everyone's
grimy. Well, that's the thing
Yeah,
that I actually
I know.
find the least believable. Is like, it's not that the future will be dirty and grimy. Like, if it's a Soviet future, then yes, that's probably true. But if we're just talking about like corpo stuff, then it's going to be smooth as a poor approximation of beautiful is the gist of it. Like, it's just going to be.
Explain,
You know,
please.
we did have the ability to make soap in medieval times, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason we couldn't actually deal with grime. I mean, the environment's probably still going to be dirty, but the people don't necessarily have to be.
It'd be water, like what? Vikings bathed from once a week or something like that.
They had a whole day dedicated to it. Lord Dog,
Really?
literally washing day.
How often was that?
That was their Saturday.
Oh, really?
It took a whole day to do it.
Well, way to go, Vikings.
Every
Lost
other
time.
day was named after a god. That one was named after washing.
And what day was that? What was
Actually,
that
I
called?
guess no. There's no Sunday was named after the sun.
Okay.
And Monday was named after because there's Sondog, Mondog.
Yeah.
God, damn. But Saturday. It's Saturday. Lord Dog is Saturday.
And Saturday was wash day?
Yes, it was the day to wash yourself.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's the way to go, Vikings. So, yeah, I mean, Native Americans, I don't know how much I know they did sweat lodges, which would clean you up a touch. I guess it depends on where you live, too.
Actually,
Yeah,
did Native
that's-
Americans make soap on a regular basis?
Not that I know. I don't know.
I don't
should
know.
That's not. I think that's. I'll just say I don't know. Who did make soap around the world? That's.
The Europeans, the Chinese. I think it was originally a Greek discovery, but I'm not sure. I've heard
So did it-
stories that I don't know if they're actually true or not because they're a little fantastical and like. Just
Right.
because education tells you that something is true does not necessarily mean that it is true.
I know. Oh, have a vaccine. It'll help you. So anyhow, all right. So there you go. Vikings, maybe. Native Americans, maybe. Did Vikings have soap, or they just cleaned house? I'm guessing it was just cleaned house because
They probably had soap. I mean, soap isn't hard to make.
Yes, Soap
So-
isn't hard to make. You need like animal fat to
Yep.
make soap.
Yep. You need animal fat and tree ash. That's all.
Why? What is okay? So what's the combo there?
So the
Animal fat. Mm-hmm.
so soap is what's the word? It's fatty acids is all that it is. So it's like soap is made of molecules that are long hydrocarbon chains with a carboxyl group on the end, which is carbon that has two oxygens bound to it with a negative charge. And so what that does is, because water is a polar molecule, it can only dissolve or like incorporate other polar stuff. It can't easily, like, it's the whole, like, oil and water don't mix, is because oil is nonpolar, and so the water can't like mix with it. So what soap does is it provides a nonpolar tail of these molecules, and they make little balls called micelles, and the nonpolar oil or whatever it is goes into the middle of the micelle, and so it's like it's an emulsion of all these little particles. So the way that you make those is you take fats, which are primarily triglycerides. So you have a glycerol that is bound to 3 of these fatty acid chains, and you take the glycerol off of the fatty acid chains. And the way that you do that is by putting it in a very, very basic mixture and heating it up, and it just pops off. And it turns out that wood ash is very, very basic. So.
And then, that's an interesting accidental discovery, and then it.
Science lessons with Afriel. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, all right. That would make me Timmy with Mr. Science, and you know I ham's a Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need another Timmy, Mr. Science.
I don't. What's that? Oh shit!
Timmy gets blown up.
Timmy got shot.
Yeah, with
This Timmy
Timmy,
got shot.
it's kind of like it's like Cammy on South Park.
Mm. Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So
it's a ritual to have
yeah.
Timmy die every
Timmy's
time.
he's gonna buy it. So where are you at with it? So what's with your Gödel thing? Is something good going on, or you're just musing?
Well, it's something that I've had in my mind pretty much since I came into the corner, because I found the raw material before I started participating in the corner properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was I wanted to talk with about this stuff with Grizz, and we tried to talk about some of it, but I think he was rightly a little unnerved by some weird stuff, not superstitious, but a little stitious. I have never seen a spider crawling in or around my desk, and it just so happened that there was a spider crawling on my microphone when we were trying to do a recording one time.
Oh yeah.
So that was a little weird.
No, I got you. All right, so see this. All right, so tell me something good about this, as if there is any in relation to you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and how it's helping.
To put it simply, my profile picture is basically me trying to solve the problem that I see posed by this Gödel point bifurcation. Because it turns out that you can have a system where you can have a world in which the systems that are choosing being and the systems that are choosing non-being are coexisting with each other. And so, oh god, and I shot something I didn't want to shoot. And and this is another part of my understanding, is that the point of this life, of this world, is for people to have the opportunity to grow, and that like the spiritual progression is such that you come from like lower levels of consciousness, and that the process of moving through this level of consciousness is the same as making this choice. That it's how do you come into conscious awareness of the choice between service to others, service to self, of being and non-being, and then once you come into conscious awareness of it, what choice do you make? Do you choose to serve others, or do you choose to serve yourself? Or do you choose neither and then fall back down the sort of consciousness hierarchy into anesthetized animal behavior? Because that's the other option, is that you choose not to choose, and then you just turn back into an animal.
I think, okay, if that's your shtick, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. If that's where that reminds me of Buddhism, part of the reincarnation. All right, so if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. Is that where you're at?
That's where I'm at.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. I can work with that.
Well, because from like what I think, like, and it's one of those, like, I having become aware of it, like the sort of like meta axiom that is causing me to make the choice to serve others is that I know what it is like to feel that pain, and I'm not willing to inflict that pain on somebody else.
Oh, well, good job. Okay. Well, good job.
Well, I mean, thank you, I guess.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Because
yeah.
because you have to basically not, in order to be willing to do things to other people to be able to achieve that level of self-service, you can't think of them as really being other people in like the deeper sense of that.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm tracking with it. Yeah,
and
sure.
I don't know if I've said it on stream before, but one of the things that I have said a couple of times privately is the path to ascending, so like the level of consciousness that we're on right now, according to the raw material, is the 3rd level consciousness, and then animals are down at 2, and we're trying to get up to 4. And so, at least within this particular octave, and so the ascension to the negative 4th is powered by pushing other people on the 3rd level of consciousness back down to the 2nd.
Right.
And that's how you're crawling over the corpses of others, basically.
Yeah. No, I got you. See, no, I was curious. Like, all right, so what I really like in hearing all this, is that if you keep doing that, for me, you're on the right trail. I think the word is a clue. I think the clue comes from a ball of yarn that was used to get some guy out of a labyrinth. And when you follow good, I'll borrow the Catholics, the good, the beautiful, and the truth. But especially like, anyhow, before I'm like, yeah, keep following that path. It pays off. I have opinions, and yeah. But what I've seen, I'm either really missing the boat or I'm understanding things a little bit better, is people's paths and journeys that they are on, for me, towards God. And what I've learned is I need to let them go, as long as they're not going off a cliff. Like if you were like uh, deconstructing and it was going dark, I'm like, no, we're gonna talk.
Yep.
But if you're someone's finding something good and that is genuinely good or beautiful or true, I'm like, all right, yeah, just keep doing it. Because it's okay. I'm like, oh, it has to be Jesus. You should follow Jesus because he's the truth, the life, and the way, and all those blah blah blah. And, well, you know, and you're like, oh, would you please take your what does Luke call it? Your propositional tyranny and go
And
somewhere
shove it up
else.
your butt.
Pretty much. And no, for me, what's different is uh, you might like this.
Mhm.
There, I think I don't know what religion it is, but they were looking for immortality, and there were 7 different characters. One was like a philosopher. One was, you know, they were all, you know, some really cool people, and the last was a drunk.
Mhm.
I feel like I was the drunk. Like, yeah, like I just, you know, and I can't explain it how I got there, but I know where I'm at.
Mhm.
I know where I want everyone else, and it's good. And I realize maybe, I really hope I'm right about this, but when I see people doing the right thing and going on the right path, it's like, all right, just shut up, leave them alone, have fun with them, encourage them.
Mhm.
And because what it is behind the words, there's a deeper truth.
Mhm.
And like, it's, it, it's in the right direction. And then eventually, I think, this is my opinion,
Mhm.
if you keep doing good in that way within your heart, God's like, okay, all right, you know, you're
He's at
gonna,
least on the right path enough to where.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna get, like, it took me, dude, I was on the path, 38 years, um, before I had my aha moment.
Mhm.
And one thing I will say, and I want to throw a monkey wrench at you just for fun of it.
Okay.
Um, I was when I met God when I was 30, you know, I was like had my Shazam moment. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's you! You're so
Mhm.
cool." And I think I might have told you this, but I recognized him because I knew him as a child. I don't know how or why, but I was born knowing him. It was love,
Mhm.
and then I walked out of that love, and then 38 years later, walked back into it. And because I had the experience as a child
Mhm.
of knowing him, I recognize him and can receive it. And maybe that's why I needed it. You know,
Mhm.
maybe that's why I was born that way, just because I was going to go into a dark night of the soul for about 30 some years.
Mhm.
And that's what got me through it. So I didn't know how that fit into your.
So I got
In,
something for you.
all right.
The symbol that is my profile picture, the
Hmm.
Ouroboros with the tail becoming a leaf,
Okay.
to me, that is the same symbol as the crucifix. It's trying to communicate the same idea, the same thing.
Okay. I'm willing to listen. I don't understand, but I'm all right. Like, all right. I don't understand, but okay.
Mhm.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is that the crucifix is the symbol of voluntary self-sacrifice in the
Hmm.
face of evil, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to communicate, like, because with there's sort of like patterns and meta patterns, axioms and meta axioms, and so like the whole service to self, service to others, like being and non-being is the inevitable consequence of that kind of a thing. So the Ouroboros, there is like the head is service to self and the tail is service to others, and so the
Mhm.
like the regular Ouroboros symbol is one that is the service to self overcoming the service to others in such a way. I should have opened with something else there. The service to self overcoming the service to others in such a way that it collapses the entire system into non-being.
When it's self-centered.
Like that the oh gosh darn it, it's frustrating.
Okay,
Okay.
because we've talked enough where I know that when it collapses, that means it's self-centered
Not just that.
and
No,
not.
so the self-centered is the head eating. That's service
Yeah,
to self.
right, right. Yeah.
The collapse is the non-being, and so like the just because
Mhm.
something is engaging in self-service doesn't necessarily mean that it is aiming towards non-being, but it's the inevitable consequence of it. And once like you achieve a certain level of understanding of what pursuing service to self, that it ends up meaning that you are aimed at non-being,
No.
then you have to contend with that, and you either continue to aim down and you say, I want the whole thing to collapse. I'm gonna keep eating my own tail until it collapses back into nothing, or you realize that that's not the path, and then you go away from the head and you go back down into the tail. And that's the other part that I was trying to get to, of like, I think that in order for the tail to properly sacrifice itself to the head, in order for Christ to actually climb up on the cross, you have to have a level of understanding of the bad side of things in order to play the part of the good properly. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to become evil, like evil in order to be able to understand evil, but you have to go far enough down that path that you do understand it before you can actually be good properly. Because there's like a naive way of being good where you are trying to naively just be of service to others without understanding how that's going to get taken advantage of by people who are self-serving.
I
And
was
it's not
thinking,
until
I'm
you
sorry.
understand that you are going to actually be able to help those people. That because like there's if somebody is just being like animalistically self-serving, then I think you can kind of shock them out of it by giving and giving to the point that they realize that
Right, sure.
like
Okay.
the whole like turn the other cheek. I think turn the other cheek works very well for people who have not actually committed to evil, that they are just trying to figure it out, and then you are showing them, okay, this is what it's going to look like if you get everything that you wanted, and then they realize, oh, I don't actually want the things that I thought I wanted.
Okay, right. Because when you were talking, the thought, Jesus, he became sin. You know, that's what was kind of coming to my mind as you were talking.
That Jesus became sin.
Yeah, I think it's Book of Romans, and I hope I'm not taking it. Let me look it up because I don't want to. It's late and I don't want to totally botch up the Gospels in one quick breath. But yeah, he became sin for us.
Hmm.
Let me pull it up. Because when you were talking about knowing, for me, it would be like sin to be. You know, you said you can't be good until you knew the bad.
Mhm.
You know, in some way. Let me see. My phone locking up. I see. Don't tell me.
You got this, Ron. You got this. I'm otherwise occupied anyway, so, I'll take it. I'll take the break. Barney, can you do something, please, sir? Good grief. Grr. Okay, I'll head for the roof, but I got people to deal with first. Can you get out of the way of the door, sir?
Lock. Sorry, I got kicked out.
You got what, sir?
Oh, I got kicked out of the room.
Oh,
I pushed too many. I got soft locked out of the room.
you pushed too many buttons.
Pretty much. So I'm looking up stuff right now. But anyhow, because it was, he that knew no sin became sin to overcome sin. But I'm kind of messing with scriptures here. But it kind of goes, I'm trying to stoke the fires with and kind of make some parallels to what you said. Now, the one thing I don't understand when you're saying collapse and sounds like nihilism or like...
Yeah, kind of. It's related.
So how is nihilism your end game?
No, nihilism is what I'm trying to prevent, what I'm trying to fight against.
Okay, no, that's cool but you said the collapse is inevitable.
I don't think the collapse, if you're following the pattern of the regular Ouroboros, of the snake eating its own tail, then yes, collapse is inevitable. What I'm trying to figure out how to do, because I think that the snake has to bite the tail, or that the tail has to let the head bite it. I don't think that you can get away from that. But is there a way for the tail to sacrifice itself to the head in such a way that it transcends and is able to create a sort of self-sustaining system where the body of the snake is growing faster than the head can eat the tail?
Oh. All right. Well, this is where I would go. Yes, but I would have to frame it in my language at this point, like God's eternal. We are creations of God. We were meant to be eternal. Things got jacked up, and then the cross, and then they became finite after the fall, and then to restore that original relationship, and the relationship is not just between us and God, but between us and and just restoring all material, time and space, all substance, time and space to original value and function, so that that sacrifice reconnects to that which is eternal, ever expanding. And so there's your answer. It's just so the answer is yes, it can be done, but it has to be reconnect to the original source and and original value, not just it's what's a better word than value? The original, just it's original operating. What is it's just original, not just value. Why am I stuck on that word? Original incarnation. So the answer to your question is yes, it can be done. And it has been done. And is being done. And that's why I think you seeking the good, you're actually heading towards that thing. You're trying to make something up that, and um, not not make something up. You're just how do I want to see what I think? Okay, so you are figuring out a system that I think you have, and then you know what you are innately spiritual. The spiritual instincts are drawing you towards something good, and that's actually him.
Mm-hmm.
You're just putting words as best you can onto something that you spiritually instinctually know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all right, so instead of me, all right, so how does that sound?
That sounds right. Like I see, like there's a reason. Like I, and it is probably a little bit blasphemous to put it that way, but like I do, like or no, like me saying that like oh like my symbol is equivalent to the crucifix, and it's like that's maybe a little much there, Afriel. Maybe you should tone it down a bit.
Well,
But
it doesn't. Here's the thing: what you say, and dude, I'm Mr. Hyper Charismatic Conservative. You don't tweak me, dude. Not at all.
okay,
And like, here's the thing: I've tried when I talk with you and several others here. It's in church their heads would be exploding. But what I see and hear and feel, spiritually feel, I'm like, no, you're doing it. Keep doing it.
I'm
Because I
trying at
know the
least.
difference.
Like I don't know for sure. Am I doing it or not? But like
No, here's the thing, because I think you are.
okay,
And I do have opinions of like I like blah 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 and my way and all that, but wouldn't it when and I think because you're not substituting the cross.
no.
You're trying to explain it.
I'm trying to find another way of putting it that makes sense to me in a
Yeah.
because like not to say that it doesn't make sense to me, but like one of the things that I have consistently had as a complaint is that it doesn't seem and like I think Christ very well understood evil. But I think that that's one of the things that I see lacking in a lot of Christian understanding of things is they're trying to do good in the absence of an understanding of what evil looks like, of what self-service looks like.
Let me let me try to formulate a pushback on that.
Okay.
If like this one, I felt something and I don't know why. Can you help me better understand what you just said? Say that one more time, exactly like you did, because
that one of the things that I see missing from a lot of Christian conversations is I think this is just an endless supply of enemies. It's annoying. Actually, I'm just going to intentionally die, because if this is just an infinite wave, then I need to have resources. Sorry, you were asking me to repeat what I said. What I see in a lot of Christian teachings is teaching people how to be good, but without including any understanding of how the bad actually functions and how to be good, not just in the face of like neutral people, but how do you actually be good in the face of genuine malevolent evil? The kinds of people who, oh, you turned the other cheek? Oh yeah, sure. You can keep turning it all day. I'm not going to get tired of slapping you.
Right. Okay, now listen, this is going to sound odd, but I totally agree with you.
Okay.
It shouldn't be odd. No, you're spot on.
Okay.
Actually, I get kind of ticked when I don't hear the gospel. Like when I'm in jail talking to kids, when I used to do that, I never had to come down too hard on them because I would say just like this: "Hey guys, the law talks about punishment, and you guys don't need me to talk about that because here we are.
Yep.
So,
You know about
would
that.
you like? Yeah, exactly. The people I talk with. Okay, now I understand why I was feeling a little weird.
Mhm.
I talk to people who always know evil. That's where I'm at my best. The people I have difficulty with
Mhm.
are the people who don't know about it or don't think
Don't believe that it even really exists. Like they're
or
like, oh yeah, evil exists, but they don't really
or,
believe it. Not really.
or even know it's within them.
Hmm. That it's within
You
them
know,
too. Yeah.
yeah, and that's when I'm like, oh, and those are the people. To be honest, they give me problems.
Hmm.
I realize I need to get away from them because it's not my job to convict them, and
No.
they will turn on you. And so
Well, they
Christianity,
because they don't understand evil, what ends up happening is they end up getting instrumentalized by evil people against good people.
actually, it's not even instrumentalized by evil people. They get instrumentalized by evil itself.
Right, but what I mean by that is like, let's say you have a pastor who is doing naughty things with the gals.
Okay, gotcha.
He is going to have conducted himself in a way to have a bunch of groupies that are going to follow him to the bitter end, even when it comes out that he has been doing bad things.
That actually just happened with someone I kind of know.
Yeah.
Two people, actually.
And so
So go
rather
ahead.
than believing in the possibility of evil in someone who they wholeheartedly believe is good's heart, they would rather turn on somebody else who, like, oh, I'm like, in the absence of that other person, then they believe that you're a good person. But the moment that this other person who they trust and believe more says bad things about you, then they're going to turn on you because, well, this person is, I know, is like even more godly than my friend, and if they're saying that my friend is like, they're not capable of utilizing their own discernment, I think is what it comes from, but I'm not really sure.
And let's say, okay, let's just. This is all right. So before I start getting lost in the weeds of this, what was the motivation of this part of the conversation?
We're talking about how
Evil. Yeah, evil
how
and people
people how other, like, people who are polarizing towards the good is how I'd put it.
Yeah.
How those people are dangerous to others and themselves because of the fact that they're not actually capable yet of discerning good from evil, and so what they end up doing is becoming tools of evil people who they believe are good because those evil people have all of the markers of a good person that they have been taught to look for.
Right. Okay. I if I can, it's funny is I think about Peter denying Christ 3 times, and then like he totally tanked it, and then God gets whacked, comes back and restores him. So then let me think. 'Cause I was trying to make a case that we always. I don't want to say we always waver between evil, non-evil. I think as you follow love and goodness. Okay, Jesus said that be perfect as I am. Is either setting us up for a failure and just making us, playing a cruel game, or actually we can be perfect. And I think, and it says in the scriptures, you can be perfect in the bond of love. So even if you're not perfect even if you're not perfect in discernment, but if you follow after love, covers a multitude of sins. So that means we may botch the deal quite a bit as we are following after love. However,
Mm-hmm.
we are perfect in love and perfected by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at a certain point, it is easier and easier, and we get better at assuaging evil within ourselves and within around
Yep.
us. Or at least
Well, and that's a key part of it too. Is like it's not just about recognizing, like the way that you're able to recognize the evil in other people is because of the fact that you learn, or partly because you learn to recognize it in yourself. You learn to recognize the potential of it in yourself, and so that's what allows you to see it in others. Like those two things are not separate; they're very much together.
That's interesting. I'll have to think. I'm not pushing back. Let me.
Mhm.
I don't want to get swallow hook, line, and sinker. Nor do I want to push back on it. I think. Okay, the fallen. Okay, if someone actually sees their fallen nature completely, let's say you're just a decent, just a schmo. No matter who you are, if you see God, like in His super scion self, and like, hi, I'm God, I'm perfect, and you are who? Then you might have, no
Take it
matter
easy,
how.
Slasher.
Oh, slashes out. So anyhow, yeah, I got you. Like, what am I trying to say? When God allows you to see who He is, and we get to see ourselves in a relationship to Him, and we realize how not God we are. And I don't like saying we're evil, but I understand what you're saying.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
I'll
using evil as a shorthand. Like,
yeah.
people who are self-serving
Mhm.
do not conceive of themselves as evil, and so it becomes a little bit difficult to like it's not really even really possible to have a conversation across those lines, in my opinion. But that's
Mhm.
like people who are serving themselves do not consider themselves evil. They just see it as service to self. So it's a little bit better of a conception to label it as service to self rather than evil, but evil is kind of the shorthand way of explaining it from the perspective of the good.
No, I think okay. It's I got you. Yeah, I think it's just that's interesting. It's I think the shorthand part. I think because I've had just so much encounter with it. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to call anybody. I don't like dealing with it in those using these terms this way normally, but in this situation, um, I'm like, I'm. It's so weird in real time. Like something's going on within me that I'm trying to process. A spirit, like there's something, and it's not bad. It's I think words, and there's plenty of people here that'll understand. In some moments, I get very relationship to God. It's two things. It's you're loved and we're absolutely not God. And that's different from evil. But I do understand what you're saying about evil being self-centered, and I'd have to totally agree with that. And that's I think what I was trying to say. What do you think?
Can you say it one more time? I don't think I quite got what you were getting for.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just
okay. When
One more shot.
evil is evil, Satan, God. Next to Jesus, he was number one, and he wanted to sit in God's throne, or at least be like him. And he knew he wasn't. He shouldn't. and he went for it anyhow. And that would be, I think that was the number one evil move.
Well, that is, by the way, that's another one of the like meta axiom ways that the Gödel point can manifest itself is the declaration of the self as God.
Oh, okay. Now, see, I can agree with that. Okay, go say what? Help me. Okay, that sounds about right.
So the only way
Yeah,
that you can fully serve yourself is if you deny the being of all other being. That you are the monad, and therefore you get to decide whatever ought to happen within reality, within anything, everything.
Okay, and that's like, what is that? Thou shalt not have.
False
Wow.
idols.
Yeah. Okay. You're
That
putting
actually, I
yourself
think,
out
has
there?
more to do with something else, though. That's more. Don't serve things below being itself.
Oh, that's pretty good. Huh. That would, yeah. Where does that fit? Is that idols or what would that?
That's idols. So like rather than
yeah.
like that you are trying to optimize for money, for example, or for like you're trying to optimize something within the scope of existence. And pride being the ultimate sin is that you are trying to optimize for what's it called? You're trying to optimize for your own godliness. I'm losing the train of thought.
No, your own. No, you're trying to optimize for your own deification.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And at the expense of anything and everything else around you too.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, now that's evil. Okay, that's. Okay. All right. No, I'm see, now this is funny, but everything okay, you're using different words, but most of what you talk about is in the Book of Romans.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. Oh, wait a second. I'm a beat you. Have you not read? I am serious.
I have done readings out of the Book of Romans. I was a lector for my church when I was a Catholic boy growing up. But like,
all right.
If someone says, "Oh, that's in the Book of Romans," like I don't know the text well enough to be able to like, oh yeah, it's this verse.
I got something fun for you. Okay. Actually, because most of everything we're talking about is Romans, and it's only 2 chapters. 7
I'll
and
go
8.
read it after this then.
Well, and the cool thing is, do you want me to tell you what you're going to read, or do you just want to read it and enjoy it? Okay, so 7 is the fallen.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just really, it's just like, hi, I'm a schmuck. I like being a schmuck. I was born a schmuck.
I have always been a schmuck. I will always be a schmuck. There's nothing to redeem me.
Who will help me stop being a schmuck?
Oh, okay. We are actually seeking redemption.
Yes, exactly. AS7's defining everybody as being under that wanting to make themselves a god. And actually in some way has inherited that nature. And then 8 describes the solution. And I really think you're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
Because it's pretty short. But the thing is, everything you've been talking about fits into 7 and 8. But you're just using different terminology. And then if you want to have some fun, I think it's 2 Corinthians 13. It's the one on love.
Mhm.
And I
Love is
don't know.
patient, love is kind.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
But
one.
what it is, what is it? Because it 2 Corinthians 13, it really, if you go back a little bit beforehand and then a little bit past it, it always gives you the on-ramp onto, like usually it's something negative. No, not negative, but it's like, this is the problem. Or on 2 Corinthians, I don't have that one as well packed into my brain. But that's pretty fun because when you talk about, well, let's say you're doing the good, giving the take, that you're giving over. That goes to the Beatitudes. I forget which gospel it is.
Mhm.
But the Beat, if everything you're talking about is you're just doing a different representation of what I've been hearing in the Gospels. And if you're really matching up and actually like on the right trail
Mhm.
for I don't want to say on the right trail for knowing God, because in some way this is just me rambling. I think in some way you do know him, or at least he's talking and
Mhm.
you're listening and you're going, yeah.
Yep.
I think, okay, so
I think so. I hope so.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing, like, dude, I would listen. I wouldn't be talking to you so long and enjoying so much of it if,
If there was,
to be honest with you.
yeah.
Yeah, if it was dissident. I mean, I was just with some people earlier, like that. I grew up with my friends, like I had high school buddies.
Mhm.
They they were making my ears ring. It was so painful because it wasn't,
Not
they're
godly at all.
not. Well, I mean, here's actually, what's funny is they're kind and they mean well,
Mhm.
but they absolutely have no. Dude, they're freaking blind. And then earlier today, and I was listening to a live stream driving across Ohio,
Mhm.
and someone jumped on the stream today, and they immediately, my ears started painful. Oh yeah, it was bad. And this person is dissident. Um, and what I realized, there are people, they are, they, I can't help them. It's not my job.
Yep.
And I got to be careful to just turn the volume down quicker on some people, but I've tried. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's being polite and backing out, but
Mhm.
it was so, um, they are so lost in their own mind.
Yep.
Or I want to express it clearly. There are some people who have very strong minds that don't have the proper operating procedure in their hearts.
Mhm.
They don't have the right spirit, and it causes me problems. And really, I realize it's my problem if someone's causing me problems. Like, I need to deal with that in
Mhm.
love, and then, but and but on the flip side of that, when someone is operating towards, no, I can feel it. Like um,
Mhm.
I feel things, and when I hang around a lot of, like, on this, and like here with a lot of people here who I just thoroughly enjoy, I know for a fact, I'm like, all right, you're going in the right direction, and it just,
Mhm.
and it's not just, and I got to be real careful because I feel something like I don't
Well, I think the
I
thing.
don't
Mhm. Sorry.
mhm. No, I don't cuss, but I don't want to sound like a pompous, like, oh, I know what's going on in people's lives and minds and hearts. And like, no, I was an idiot and a drunk and a moron. I happen to accidentally get it together, and I see people who are not nearly as much of a moron as I was getting it together.
Mhm.
There it is. Feel better about that.
Well, and I don't know. You don't want to presume what's in somebody else's heart, but at the same time, like, I don't think that you should ever feel bad for recognizing patterns, for recognizing that, like, oh, like, I haven't met you, like, whoever you are, but I have met other people who are so similar to you to the point where you're basically the same person.
Exactly.
And like,
yeah.
I can predict like, I might not have seen you do this before, but I can predict what you are going to do with such frightening accuracy that it's as though I had met you in the past. It's as though this is deja vu.
That's it. And I'll tell you what my flaw was, because you'll appreciate this, because it's actually after you told me how you were in a house in college where you got set up, like, and it was the first time you had ever encountered evil or something. See, okay, now, and then you had to learn some hard lessons. You said that it would have been better if you had gotten some training in that area. But here we are. With me, when I came to God, I was like, dude, like, I was an atomic powerhouse of love, but I didn't realize there were snakes in the garden. But I would see them, and I'd be like, no, I can love you. I can
love you
like,
into
no.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my downfall, caused problems. And now when I hear people talk, it's so funny. It's like there's something you can't, it's not, well, for me, I just hear it. I'm like, oh, okay, they're not going to be fun to play with. Okay, we should, and I think I'm just getting better and quicker at going, all right, you got a sharp mind, but you're going to use that sharp mind like a scalpel in the hands of a slasher. Oh, no, not a slasher.
Like a machete in the hands of a Haitian.
Exactly. Like,
Is that too much?
No, that was too much, but I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'd rather, at least the Haitians.
How about a Haitian gangster? Haitian gangster, not all Haitians.
I'd say, I think it actually reminds me of Mr. Hyde. You know, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's someone who's just really, well, okay, I'll break it down simple. You had Pharisees who were brilliant, and they knew the Torah, and they were straight murderers. And that's what when I hear it.
Learning the law can either enable you to understand the spirit of the law and follow that even when the spirit deviates from the law, or it can enable you to know how to do things in just the right way to skirt punishment because, well, it's not technically against the law, it's perfectly legal.
Or worse, you think you're right. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go after you. So that's it. And
that's the thing is, like, nobody, and by the way, yes, Olson, we are still at this. We'll be at, well, not all night, but for a little bit longer. This is a good one, so. But yeah, sorry.
No, and so here it is. It's like, so going back to, I see so many people here on a path that's pretty cool. And what really, like, when we all met up in Chicago, what blew my mind is I met two mathematicians. They numbers guys, not just accountants, but like high level bean counters that worked with. I'll give this testimony that really opened my mind up to what's going on here in the corner.
Mhm.
I was sitting at a table. Sandy Bassey, I gave her a ride from the airport to the site.
Mhm.
She brought her friend. I forget his name. He's an economist. That's the word. And he goes, I deal with big numbers. I deal with big things, and throughout the
Sorry.
global stuff. Oh, you're fine.
I'm mentally a teenager. Don't mind me.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
I deal with big
All right.
things.
Oh, yeah, right. An idiot. All right. Yeah. Stop picking your nose and pay attention to this food. Moment
Anyway.
ruined. Gone. No. But he said like he was dealing with just seeing all these patterns in the world.
Mhm.
And one day he just realized there was a God, there was a God involved. They were just the numbers and patterns were all there. And I'm like, well, okay, that was an interesting testimony. And then sitting across from him at the lunch table is just me and some other dude.
Mhm.
This other dude who was just at the lunch table looks up at us and goes, "Me too."
Mhm.
I was like, it was the statistical odds of having two economists there
Mhm.
talking about meeting God because of seeing
Through
patterns. I'm
numbers.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's when I thought, oh my gosh, these guys have come through the desert.
Mhm.
Like their testimony impressed me. Like at least I was a shaman wannabe who did drugs and I cheated. I was around. I thought for me, people who come to God that way,
Mhm. Blessed are those
it's
who have not seen and yet still believe.
yeah. Well, and it just seems like a harder, more difficult road.
Mhm.
But now it's actually opened my world got much bigger, and I think because what kicked off this why was I sharing this story? Because it was what we were talking about. It relates to
Testimonies about coming to. What were we on
and
before that?
patterns. Is because it was also because I want to. There was a reason, and it'll come back to me.
Mhm.
But the last thing I really remember clearly it was we were talking about seeing and recognizing patterns in people,
Yep.
knowing, and I don't want to just. There was a reason. What was the reason I was talking about people seeing patterns and coming to faith? And I think okay, I got it because I see you guys like you, Grim, and others
Mhm.
like you're doing it. You are struggling towards the good.
Mhm.
You're fighting, and to be honest, it's a hard fight
Mhm.
because but I see in a few others, uh, you won't quit.
Mhm.
You won't compromise. And I recognize it because that's what I was.
Mhm.
Dude, I was drunk and high all the time. But I was also looking for God all the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
And I did it wrong, but I did it.
Mhm.
It was the right heart. And I think that's what I see here. That's what I see going
The
on.
heart. That's the
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
part.
That's it. And okay, because we're talking about dissident people.
Mhm.
When it's dissident, oh, dude, you could be brittle. Oh, dude, even thinking about it gives me a headache. Oh, really?
If it's the
Seriously,
same
dude.
one that I was listening to, then I had to turn it off because it was
Oh,
getting too
really?
much. If it,
Well, dude, well, and I need one thing I've learned about the corner
Mhm.
is I'm learning where I don't belong. Not to say it's bad.
Mhm.
It's just a certain
Well,
conversation.
you
I
have
don't
to
know.
respect your own limitations. Like that's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
you don't
Okay.
have the capacity to love everyone everywhere infinitely within your own human existence. Like that's part of the lesson I think that we're here to learn is like, okay, I have limitations in how I can express love for others. How do I live, and how do I love continue to love in spite of the fact that I have those limitations to deal with.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So that actually goes, yeah. Okay, I can eat that one because I was thinking, because I was just saying, be perfect. God said be perfect. He said, but it's perfect in love.
Well, and the thing is, it's not. I don't think that God is expecting us to just wake up tomorrow and have achieved perfection, have attained perfection. It's okay. That's the goal. Perfection is the goal. Now,
Right.
what are you going to do? What steps are you going to take in order to move from where you are now in that direction? Because it's not going to be an instantaneous jump from like not knowing what love even is to being a grandmaster of love, so to speak.
I to be fair to you, and I agree with you totally. It is a gift given. Just to be like, I am not who I am because I worked at it. I am who I am because I had an encounter. I think okay, you might be all right. Push back. All right, okay. I can hear
Don't
it.
get me wrong. I think that
Yeah.
there is fundamentally a gift part of that. Like, there but for the grace of God go I. I don't know how I could be the kind of person that I am, that I want to be, without having God's grace have played a significant role in my life, without having like I don't know, I could not have figured out the things that I have figured out on my own. It was only because God put Jordan Peterson in my life, like whatever circumstances that enabled me to find him, that was able to help me to come to the realizations that have then allowed me to become the person that I am today. And like, I don't know, I tried to have my family book club. We did 12 Rules for Life because I really wanted to communicate to my brothers, who are a lot more skeptical of Peterson, these are the insights that I got from this, and like, they were insights that I'm not exaggerating too much when I say that they saved my life.
Wow.
Like, I was going down the dark, nihilistic, suicidal road, and coming across this material and thinking through the things that Peterson was presenting and grappling with the ideas that he was presenting. That was what enabled, like, it's the whole, like, the unauthorized exorcist that Paul has made the point of so many times. It's like, okay, like, there was clearly this spirit of nihilistic suicide that was possessing so many young men. Like, why even bother trying to fight against it? And Peterson exorcised that spirit from a lot of young men. And I think it was Orrin McIntyre I was listening to, and he made the point of, like, regardless of whatever happens with Peterson after that, like, yes, he's a bit of a hypocrite for talking about improving yourself and then getting addicted to benzos. And there's a ton of other stuff where it's like, I don't actually believe you when you say that. Like, I think that you're just making excuses for yourself in some way, shape, or form for some of the stuff that you're saying. And so from that perspective, like, yeah, I'm going to be critical of him, but there's a sense in which I owe him my life. And I'm not going to ever, like, I will always be grateful to him no matter how much, like, even if he goes, like, full charlatan and, like, starts a sex cult. Like, you know what? I'm not a fan. I don't like this, but I'm not going to ever deny the value that was given to me. Like, even if he didn't mean for me to take it in the way that I took it, even if his whole, like, even if he is actually, like, a service to self practitioner, and the whole point of Maps of Meaning was that sort of, like, trying to teach people to be a Nietzschean Übermensch, like, that was his real intention. Like, even if that's the case, like, you know what? I will still have some level of appreciation because that was what enabled me to get over the hump. That was what enabled, like, and maybe that's foolish. Maybe that's
No. Actually, okay. First off, that's biblical.
okay.
Because what you're talking about is mercy at this point.
Mhm.
So you're just being merciful, and that's fine. That's actually biblical. What was it? Was there an aha moment? Because I've heard this before, like with Neil. He said that Peterson gave his pain meaning. I don't exactly know what he meant about that, but he helped him. He helped Neil process pain, and it saved his life. Was it the same thing with you, or was there a moment, or was it a gradual thing, or a little bit of both?
I mean,
Was there a
I don't know if there was like a single aha moment. It was more of just this, like, listening to the Maps of Meaning lectures that he had posted, and coming to the gradual realization of, because like up until that point I had been very much in, and I conceived of it like as I was listening to this. This is like how I thought about it, in a very Bertrand Russell sort of mindset, where I was. And what I mean by that is like the Principia Mathematica. I can prove how you should be in the world. Like I can answer the question of what is the meaning of life if I just have the right set of axioms, if I just have the right things and the right logic, I can come to the conclusion because it must always be implied. And I don't remember what it was specifically about the Maps of Meaning lectures, but what I came to understand and came to realize was, no, it's a choice. That existence, the question of whether I should exist or not, is axiomatic. It is something that you do not just you can't conclude it from priors because it is axiomatic. It is a choosable thing.
Oh, that's right. You drill down, and when you drill down far enough, it always comes down to faith.
And that's that's the deeper way that I understand the word faith, which I don't think it doesn't match up with I think how a lot of other people use it, but that's like faith is I'm going to take this as axiomatic truth is one of the ways that I think of.
That's actually faith, because faith. It's not blind faith. It is faith in Scripture, because actually what you're describing is scriptural. It's believing that life is worth it.
But it's believing life is worth it axiomatically. Like I don't need other proof because there is no other proof. It's something that by believing that life is worth it, life becomes worth it. And if you believe that life is not worth it, then life isn't worth it because you've decided it.
Okay. The Bible says, as a man believes in his heart, so he is.
Yep, that's it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, that's faith. That's raw, uncut Colombian cartel faith. That's the good stuff, dude. That's on the other end of the dark night of the soul. That's what you get.
Yep.
And that's, I think everyone, because everyone is given a measure of faith, and then it's what you decide to do with it that counts.
Yep. Well, and the important thing to understand too is that, like, you can, like, the dark night of the soul does not necessarily end in you coming to this like biblical understanding. Like you can like a lot of people do choose evil, and I think that that's something that gets underemphasized, and going back to what I was talking about earlier about like the sort of Christian teachings of like just be a good person and like everything will work itself out. It's like, yes, but you need to be a good person in increasingly complex ways in the face of increasingly complex evil.
No, that's true. I absolutely. Well, I like that. I'd like to remember that one. But that's. I'd have to say absolutely. You're absolutely right on that.
Mhm.
Jesus is the best example of that.
Mhm.
Satan himself came and tested him.
Mhm.
If you're the Son of God, turn this stone into bread. If you're the Son of God, throw yourself down
Mhm.
from the pinnacle. Angels will catch you. If you're the Son of God.
Mhm.
I forget the third one. Was it? What was the third temptation? It was bow down and worship me, and I'll give you the world. Um, I know it reads pretty simple, but it must have been incredibly.
Well, especially
Mm,
like don't just think about it from like an average person's perspective. Think about it from like Jesus' perspective. It's like, hey,
mhm.
you are the Son of Man. You, if you wanted to, you could make everything right now. You could take dominion. You, son of David, could become like David. You could take dominion over what is rightfully yours.
But it would be given to you by him, Satan.
No, actually,
And what?
God, I like, and this is, oh man, I don't know if you're going to agree with this.
Well,
God
here's the
would,
thing.
if Jesus had asked for the world, God would have given it to him because that means that Jesus has a lesson that he needs to learn.
Actually, no. He got actually God, and I'm just going to go scriptural on this, so I'm being a
Yep.
little legalistic. Um, God gave Earth to man,
Mhm.
not. Oh, okay. So here's the deal: the title to Earth was first given to Adam, the pink slip. That's what they used to call it for cars. The title.
The title, yep.
Um, and then Adam lost it to Satan. So if Jesus asked for the world, God would not have given it to him because it was actually owned by Satan.
Mm.
Just,
Okay.
I'm just being,
Okay. No, that
yeah, yeah,
because God had
yeah,
already given the world to
yes,
Satan.
yeah. And so what it is the temptation was to get the world back without the cross.
Without sacrifice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's and now whether Satan knew that or not,
Mhm.
Jesus did.
Mhm.
So that must if that must have been like it has to be very tempting.
Mhm.
Otherwise they would it wouldn't be in the Bible. Jesus was tempted in every way we were.
Mhm.
But yet it was on the, like you said, the levels and complexities,
Mhm.
on,
That
on a level.
no, I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to watch it back because now I don't I can't even pull it back up right now.
No, it's good. Yeah. Basically you're saying that, like on you should gain in complexity and power of love. Like, but
Mhm.
that also means, everything rises. So that you should up your game. I'll
Yep.
just put it in a nutshell. You should always be up in your game.
Yep.
And
And that God wants you to.
yeah, I mean it's growth. That's what things do. They grow.
Well, and I think too,
That
like
was how-
because well, if you have infinite love, then you can solve any problem that requires love. But what's interesting
Mhm.
is, okay, say you now have finite love. Can you
Mhm.
still solve the problem that requires love?
If it is God's, if it's God's love, it's actually not finite. You might have a limited, like stars. You might differ in that encounter,
Mhm.
but it's still His love. So I guess you would have limited ability to solve problems, but in time, you may grow in the ability to solve that problem eventually.
Mm.
Or you get someone else to help you out who is able to do that.
Mm.
That's, there's options on that, but you either grow into solving the problem, you ask help for solving the problem, or eventually by faith, the problem will be solved in eternity, which might sound a little bit of a cop out, but eventually all things get resolved.
They do, but it's. I think
But for here, to be on to address your question,
Mhm.
because it sounds like you want to talk about the here and now, you will have problems, you won't get resolved, and we are expected to grow and try to resolve them till the day we die.
Mhm.
And so it's a little bit of both.
Mhm.
It's you. And I think eventually, though, within our own lives, we resolve the problems that are given to us.
Mhm.
And once we do, we've learned what we need to learn from those problems.
Mhm.
And what starts off as a problem actually might start off or wind up as a blessing eventually. But
Mhm.
so I think you don't have to worry about infinite cosmic problems, just whatever comes your way,
Well,
whatever difficult.
I think the way that you worry about and potentially fix infinite cosmic problems is that they have to be. It's like, okay, how are you going to move an entire beach full of sand, one grain at a time? Like, you don't actually solve the big problem without figuring out how to incrementally solve all the little problems.
Right. Yeah, that's sufficient. Don't worry about tomorrow. Sufficient is today's problem.
Mhm.
And all right, yeah, just piecemeal it, one thing at a time.
Well, and
Dude.
adequately preparing for tomorrow's problems, I think, is actually part of the game too. But that's
Yeah,
you don't need to
worry.
unnecessarily, yeah. Like you don't let the worry consume you to the point where it
Yeah,
interferes with your capacity to
yeah.
do the things
That
presently that you need to.
okay. That's exactly it. Absolutely prepare, and I think that's what a lot of this
Mhm.
is preparation. But worry is forbidden. That one is forbidden. Don't worry. So
Don't worry, be happy now.
that's it.
Do do
That's it.
do do
That's
do
man.
do do
Oh
do do
Lord.
do.
I'm gonna go sell some crack to elementary school kids now.
That's preferable to this stream. Gah!
That's it. Can't do no Bobby McFarland or whatever his name is. I think it's something McFarland, something like that. It was,
Mhm.
yeah. Wrecked that song forever. But anyhow, it's, yeah, I think I like that. This one's been good because, like my ears, like, dude, I was in pain today
Mhm.
and I really hated it. Like
Mhm.
I did not like it.
Well,
It
and
really,
there's reasons why I didn't talk about any of the other streams that we're on today.
no,
Because it's
that's
I don't
cool.
want I don't want to focus on the negative. I don't
No,
find that helpful or
it's,
productive.
well,
So.
and actually it's unbiblical. Like,
Mhm.
what it's absolutely, if there is ever, whatever, the vampire one, or if, well, actually not Incubus, Succubus, but
Mhm.
if you want to know what a vampire is,
Mhm.
there you go. And I don't want to, I'll be honest, like, dude, I've been around, I don't want to talk about dark stuff anymore. I'm tired of it. Like, I've had my fill.
Mhm.
Like, I'm done.
Well,
Like,
and
I'm going to get boring.
the thing too is like there's no real point in only focusing about the dark stuff. Like if you do that, did I soft lock again? If you just no, we're good. Okay. If you focus on the dark stuff, that's what will consume you. Like you can't
Mhm.
just fight against the darkness. You have to fuel that fight with the good. Otherwise, it just dies on the vine.
All right. So here's the deal. I know somebody says the best way to how to fight the darkness is turn on the light.
Yep.
So yeah, all right, cool. So I'm not gonna go down that road anymore myself. And if you ever catch me, you're like, just say, dude, turn on the light.
Turn on the light,
Just
Ron. Turn on the light.
yes. Oh, dude, you will so bust my chops. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I would seriously enjoy that because there is much good. And I got to crash here in a second, but I
Yeah,
will
I was about to say
say,
probably about your bedtime.
oh, dude, I'm burning the midnight oil so bad, but that's okay. It's party time. This has been fun.
This has been a good
I
one.
have
Yeah.
had, yeah, two things. I've been making mead, and
Ooh.
oh yeah. So it took about a month and a little bit to have it finally get incredibly drinkable,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting kind of smooth. So there's mead in the making. There will
Mm-hmm.
be regular meads in the bottles fermenting, and then there's going to be blueberry mead coming.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really important is um, spiritual. Let me see how to say that. I want to say this really accurately with
Ron's new alcohol
because
brand,
of this.
Spiritual Spirits.
Yeah, spiritual. Happy spirits. What it is there were encounters I had with God years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not steward the relationship with God well for a small season.
Mm-hmm.
And it cut off part of my heart. Um, Now, mind you, God didn't cut me off, but I shut myself up.
Mhm.
It has been coming back, like waking up. I don't even know how to explain it,
Mhm.
but I guess what I want to say is when you talk about dealing with problems and they seem overwhelming,
Mhm.
if you don't give in to them, even if it doesn't seem like you can solve them, but you just don't collapse under the weight.
You just don't go hollow.
Yeah, don't go hollow. This is the weirdest thing. Like these things are like growing back in me. These encounters,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like having a part of your body that was numb come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I think having a good sense of the long game, not
Mm-hmm.
quitting, and being hopeful, it pays off.
Yep.
It pays off big.
Yep.
So that's about it. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't have to go sell crack to elementary school kids. They'll just go drink mead.
A much better use of your time.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, look at me. Way to go, me. Good job.
God,
So proud.
Well, do you wanna sign us off?
Yeah, dude. All right. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ron Copperman speaking on behalf of Pilot Afrelson. Don't you dare go hollow. Actually, how does the whole thing go? Good night,
Goodbye
everyone.
then.
How do you
Goodbye then. Be safe, friends. Don't you dare go hollow.
dun 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 dun
Good night, everybody.
dun 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 dun. Goodbye, everybody.